Hello, so tonight I'm going to be making the chocolate heart soaps, and they are going to be pretty much just exactly like last year, except the scent. I'm coloring them, of course, with the organic cocoa powder. I have all my oils and butters melted and mixed with the lye water, but I'm going back to something I used a long time ago in my first soaps, and it's vanilla oleoresin, which, oh my god, the smell, wow. And of course, since it's pure vanilla absolute, it's gonna turn brown, so it's the perfect soap to do, just color it with brown as it is, and it'll just be a perfect scent combination. See, look how dark it is. I wanted you to see that first before I added the cocoa powder, so it'll just go hand in hand and smell really, really good. Add all of that, and this again, as it cures, it's probably going to get darker and darker and darker. So whatever color it is right now, I'll have to wait to take pictures for, because I'm sure it's going to darken. And a vanilla oleoresin, it smells, it's a vanilla absolute, and it smells just like a vanilla extract, like a really good quality vanilla extract that you would buy to bake with. That's exactly what it smells like. It does kind of soften that kind of alcohol-y tone to it once it cures in the soap, but that really strong punch of vanilla, when you first pour it, you can really smell that. So that looks good already, just like it is, nice and chocolatey. That's what these are kind of like, is like a pretty box of chocolates, only it's soap, so it's better for you, right? And here is my regular mold that I use. This will be the third year doing the chocolate hearts. I think the first year, though, I did chocolate colored ones, and then I did like a white one that was jasmine, which turned out to be terrible, actually. Jasmine alters its smell, especially when you work with essential oil. Maybe not when you use fragrance oils, but when you use an essential oil of it, it just, for some reason, it alters when you make soap with it, and it kind of gets stinky, and it tends to rice really bad, which is what the first soaps I made at my very first Valentine's Day, it did do that. Cocoa powder is another natural colorant that is super nice and good for your skin. Really easy to blend with oil, so it makes it like, not grainy or anything like that, and makes a beautiful brown. But as you can see, it thickens up like nobody's business. As soon as you start to pour, it just gets thicker and thicker. And when this starts to thicken on you and you're pouring into individual molds, just shake it a little bit like that and tap it upside down, up and down, I mean, not upside down. And it should kind of settle in there. It does make it tricky, but not too bad. Okay, so I'm back the next morning to unmold the chocolate hearts, and I have my soapy glue here, which is just little fragments of the chocolate soap. Like when it overflows over the edges in the mold, I take some off and mix it with some very hot like boiling hot distilled water. It makes the little glue. So these should pop out really good. Oh yeah. And like I said before, I won't take pictures until it's been at least a few weeks, because this is just going to get browner and browner from the essential oil and from the chocolate. The cocoa powder just constantly makes it darken. And see, again, you know, you can trim all around the edges of that. It's still pretty soft, and see how there's little dings there. Those are very easily fixed as well. They smell really good. That vanilla is just... Last year I used one from Eden's Garden that was cocoa vanilla, and it smelled good, but it just kind of dissipated, and I didn't really, after a while, it wasn't as strong as I was hoping. And just, I like pure vanilla better, as far as like the scent retention stays a little longer, and it makes a really creamy soap. One of my first soaps I ever made was vanilla, and it turned out so nice and such a smooth bar, and the vanilla scent really did last a long time. So okay, so some of these I'm going to have to run a paintbrush over with the soapy glue and kind of fix these little ding marks. I don't know what to call that, but just where it didn't unmold so nice. So let's pick one that looks good. And that'll be the one to show you that I put the little pieces on top. So this time the little roses are colored with rose clay, and the leaves, the little tiny leaves, which I don't know if you can see the little veins on them, all the little details, those are colored with spirulina. So because these pieces are small, and I've learned from experience that it's harder to hold a little tiny piece of soap and put the water or the soap glue on it without dropping them, this time I'm just going to take the soap and put the soapy glue on in the spots where I want the pieces to go. Just is easier. That way they don't slip out of your hands. And then just place like that. And you press down pretty good and make sure that they stay flat and that they get all contact with the soap. Pretty. Okay, so I'll try to show you carefully here. This is what they're going to look like. So these will be available by themselves, but also part of a Valentine's gift set as well. I did have two that turned out differently because my batter was thickening on me so much, and I just didn't have enough time to get out more cocoa powder within being able to get it into the mold. So I did have two that turned out like this, and they're still really pretty. And it's kind of an experiment as well. I'll leave pictures at the end because I'm curious to see whether this uncolored portion that's yellow now will change from the vanilla oil. So we shall see. And this chocolate heart soap will be available on the next full moon on January 17th. Shop links are listed below. Thank you for watching. Take care.